Hey there, welcome back to the channel. Have you ever stopped to wonder what little things in your day-to-day life might be whispering clues about how long you'll thrive past 70? I mean, we all want to enjoy those golden years, full of energy, laughter, maybe a little dancing with the grandkids or sipping coffee on the porch with a good book. But here's the kicker. Science says there are signs, real, tangible hints, that can tell us how long we might stick around. And even better, we can do something about them. That's right, you've got more control than you might think. And I'm so glad you're here with me today because we're going to unpack this together. Picture this. You're at a family gathering and someone says, "Oh, they're still kicking because they've got good genes." Sure, genes play a part, but what if I told you that what you do every single day, little habits, choices, even how you think, can outweigh that genetic lottery ticket? Scientists have been digging into this for years, and they've found 7 signs that can predict how long you'll live after 70. These aren't guesses or old wives' tales, they're backed by research, and they're things you can see in your own life. I'm not here to overwhelm you with big, fancy studies or numbers that make your head spin. Instead, I want to walk with you through this, like we're sitting down for a chat over tea, and share what these signs mean for you, plus how you can tweak them to keep thriving. Now, I know what you might be thinking. I'm past 70 already. Am I too late? Not at all. Whether you're 60, 75, or even 90, these signs are like a roadmap you can start following today. They're not about perfection. They're about small, doable steps that add up to big wins. So grab a comfy seat, maybe a notepad if you're feeling inspired, and let's dive into the first couple of these signs. Trust me, by the time we're done, you're going to feel empowered, not just informed. Let's start with something you might not expect: how strong your grip is. I'm not talking about arm wrestling your nephew at Thanksgiving, though that might be fun, but the actual strength in your hands. Scientists have found that grip strength is like a crystal ball for your overall health. There's this study where they followed folks over 70 for years, and those with a firm handshake or a solid grip on a jar of pickles tended to live longer. Why? Because it's a sneaky little sign of how well your muscles are holding up, and your muscles are tied to everything. They help you get out of a chair, carry groceries, and even keep your balance so you don't take a tumble. I remember my Uncle Joe. He was 82 and still opening those stubborn jars for my Aunt Marie like it was nothing. He'd laugh and say, "These hands have still got it." And you know what? He was onto something. Researchers say that as we age, keeping our muscle strength isn't just about looking good. It's about staying independent and keeping our bodies running smoothly. Weak grip strength, on the other hand, can hint at frailty creeping in, and that's something we want to push back against. So how do you know if your grip's up to par? You don't need a fancy gadget, though doctors sometimes use one called a dynamometer. Try this. Next time you're in the kitchen, grab a jar or even a full water bottle. Can you hold it steady without your hand shaking? Can you twist it open without too much struggle? If it's feeling a little wobbly, don't worry, it's not a life sentence. You can build that strength back up, squeeze a stress ball while you're watching TV, or carry a couple of light grocery bags instead of piling them all into one heavy load. Little things like that add up, and before you know it, you're the one everyone's calling to open the pickle jar. Now let's shift gears a bit and talk about something we all do every day: walking. But it's not just about putting one foot in front of the other. It's how fast you move. Scientists have this cool test called the walking speed test, and they've found that how quickly you walk can say a lot about how long you'll live. They watched people over 70 stroll down a short path, about 13 feet, and those who moved at a brisk pace like they had somewhere to be tended to outlive the ones who shuffled along more slowly. Think about the last time you walked to the mailbox or across the parking lot. Were you cruising along enjoying the breeze, or did it feel like a bit of a slog? I'll be honest, there was a time when I'd see my mom take her sweet time getting to the car, and I'd think, "Oh, she's just taking in the scenery." But it turns out that slower pace might have been a sign her body was asking for a little more oomph. The good news: walking speed isn't set in stone. It's like a muscle you can train. Take my friend Linda, for example. She's 74, and a couple of years ago, she noticed she was lagging behind her dog on their daily walks. She didn't like that one bit. Her pup's a spry little thing. So she started picking up the pace just a little at a time. She'd set a goal. "Today I'll get to that oak tree before Max does." Now, she's zipping around the block, and she swears she feels 10 years younger. You don't have to race anybody. Just try adding a little pep to your step when you're out and about. Maybe time yourself from the front door to the end of the driveway, then see if you can beat it tomorrow. It's like a game, and the prize is a healthier, longer life. Before we wrap up this part, let's touch on one more sign that's a bit closer to the heart, literally. How well you sleep at night. I know, sleep can feel like a tricky friend after 70. Maybe you're up at 3 a.m. wondering why the world's so quiet, or you're tossing and turning because your mind won't settle. But here's the thing. Science says good sleep isn't just about feeling rested. It's a predictor of how long you'll stick around. People who get solid, refreshing sleep tend to have stronger hearts, sharper minds, and even better moods, all of which add years to their lives. My neighbor Tom used to brag about how he could get by on 4 hours a night. He'd say, "Sleep's for the young," but then he started feeling foggy, grumpy. And honestly, he looked worn out. His doctor told him straight, "Tom, your body's not a machine, it needs rest to repair itself." So he started small, dimming the lights an hour before bed, skipping that late coffee. Now he's clocking 7 hours, and he's like a new man. If sleep's been dodging you, try winding down with a warm drink, nothing caffeinated, or maybe a short story instead of scrolling on your phone. It's not about forcing it, it's about inviting sleep back into your life. We've covered some ground here, haven't we? Grip strength, walking speed, and sleep. They're like little windows into how your body's doing, and the best part is you can nudge them in the right direction. I love how these signs aren't about big, scary changes. They're about paying attention and making tweaks that feel good. Stick with me because we've got more to explore, and I promise it's going to keep getting better from here. Hey there, welcome back. I hope you're feeling a little spark of excitement after our last chat. Maybe even tried squeezing a stress ball or picking up your pace to the mailbox. It's amazing how these small things can start to shift how we feel, isn't it? We're on this journey together, exploring those 7 scientifically proven signs that hint at how long we'll thrive past 70. And let me tell you, the more we dig into this, the more I'm convinced we've got the power to shape our own story. So let's keep going and talk about a few more signs that might surprise you. They're hiding in plain sight right in your everyday life. One thing that caught my eye when I was looking into this is how much your social circle matters. I mean, we all love a good chat with friends or family, but did you know that staying connected could add years to your life? Scientists have found that folks over 70 who keep strong ties with friends, neighbors, even the lady at the grocery store who knows your name, tend to live longer than those who let those bonds fade. It's not just about having people around. It's about feeling like you belong, like you're part of something. I think about my Aunt Clara, who's 78 and still the life of every potluck. She's got this little group of ladies she's known since her kids were in diapers, and they meet up every Thursday for coffee and gossip. She says it keeps her young, and science backs her up. Loneliness, on the other hand, can sneak up on us as we get older, and it's tougher on the body than you might think. It's like a quiet stress that wears you down, raising blood pressure and making it harder to bounce back from little aches and pains. But here's the beauty of it. You don't need a packed social calendar to turn this around. Start small. Call up an old friend you haven't talked to in a while, just to say hi, or strike up a conversation with someone at the park. I tried this myself last week. Chatted with a guy feeding the ducks, and we ended up laughing about how they waddle like they own the place. It's those little moments that build up, and before you know it, you've got a network that lifts you up. If you're feeling shy, even joining a club or a class like painting or cards can open the door. It's not about quantity. It's about those real, warm connections that make you smile. Now let's shift to something a little more personal, how you feel about the years you've lived. This one's fascinating because it's all in your head, but it shows up in your body too. Researchers have found that people over 70 who feel positive about aging, who see it as a time of wisdom and new adventures, live longer than those who dread every birthday. It's like your mindset becomes a secret weapon. If you wake up thinking, "I'm too old for this," your body might start to agree. But if you say, "I've earned every wrinkle, and I'm still here to enjoy it," you're setting yourself up for more good days. I saw this play out with my dad. He hit 70 and decided he wasn't old, he was just seasoned. He started taking up hobbies he'd always wanted to try, like woodworking. He'd show off these little birdhouses he made, grinning like a kid, and I swear he's got more energy now than he did at 60. Science says it's because a positive outlook lowers stress, keeps your heart ticking strong, and even helps your immune system fight off bugs. So how do you flip the script if you've been feeling down about the years piling up? Try this. Next time you catch yourself in the mirror, don't focus on the lines. Think about one thing you've learned or done that you're proud of. Maybe it's raising a family, mastering a recipe, or just getting through a tough day. Let that be your story, not the number on the cake. Speaking of energy, let's talk about something you're probably doing right now, breathing. Well, sort of. It's not just about taking air in and out, it's how well your lungs are holding up. Scientists say lung power is a big deal after 70. It's another one of those signs that can predict how long you'll stick around. They've done tests where they measure how much air you can blow out in one go, and the folks with stronger lungs tend to keep going strong. It makes sense when you think about it. Your lungs are like the engine that keeps oxygen flowing to every part of you. My cousin Ed used to huff and puff just climbing the stairs, and he'd wave it off like, "Oh, I'm fine, just out of shape." But then he got winded chasing his grandkids around, and that was his wake-up call. He started doing these simple breathing exercises, nothing crazy, just sitting in a chair, taking slow, deep breaths for a few minutes a day. He'd count to 4, breathing in, hold it for a couple of seconds, then let it out slowly. Now he's keeping up with those little rascals, and he says he feels lighter somehow. You can try it too. Next time you're waiting for the kettle to boil, take a few deep breaths and see how it feels. We've been on quite a ride together, haven't we? Exploring these 7 scientifically proven signs that hint at how long we'll thrive past 70. It's like piecing together a treasure map for our golden years. I hope you're feeling that spark of possibility, because every step we've talked about so far shows how much power we have to shape our days. We're not done yet, though. Let's dive into the last couple of signs, and then I'll send you off with a big dose of encouragement to keep you going. One thing that stands out when you look at what keeps folks ticking past 70 is how well they bounce back from life's little bumps. Scientists call this resilience, but I think of it as that quiet strength that gets you through a cold, a sore knee, or even a tough week. Research shows that people over 70 who recover quickly from physical setbacks, like a minor illness or a stumble, tend to live longer. It's not about avoiding trouble altogether, it's about how your body rallies to get you back on your feet. Take my friend Margaret, for instance. She's 76, and last winter she caught a nasty bug that knocked her flat for a few days. Most of us would have milked that excuse to stay in bed for a week, but not Margaret. She rested, sipped her tea, and by day 4, she was back in her garden pulling weeds like nothing had happened. She told me, "I just listen to what my body needs, then get moving again." That's the key. Resilience isn't some superhero trait. It's about giving yourself a little TLC when you need it, then gently nudging yourself back into action. If you've been feeling like recovery takes longer these days, try this. Next time you're under the weather, rest up with some soup and a good book, but don't let the couch claim you for too long. Take a short walk around the house when you feel that first hint of energy. It's like telling your body, "We've got this." Now let's talk about something we all deal with every day, eating. But it's not just about what's on your plate, it's how your body handles it. Scientists have found that blood sugar control is a big predictor of longevity after 70. When your body keeps those levels steady, not spiking up and crashing down, you're less likely to run into trouble with your heart, your energy, or even your mood. It's like keeping the fuel in your tank balanced so the engine runs smoothly.
I'll never forget my Uncle Ray. He hit 80 and still loved his sweets. He'd sneak a cookie or 3 after dinner, but then he'd grumble about feeling sluggish the next day. His doctor finally sat him down and said, "Ray, it's not about giving up the good stuff. It's about balance." So he started pairing his treats with a handful of nuts or a piece of fruit, and he cut back on the late-night snacks. Now, he's got more pep in his step, and he still gets his cookie fix. You don't have to overhaul your whole kitchen to make this work. Maybe swap that second slice of pie for a walk around the block, or add some veggies to your plate before you dive into the mashed potatoes. It's those little shifts that keep things steady and keep you around for more dinners to enjoy. So here we are. We've walked through all 7 signs together. From the strength in your hands to the speed in your step, the quality of your sleep, the warmth of your social circle, the way you see your years, the power in your lungs, and now your bounce back and blood sugar game. Isn't it incredible how these everyday things weave together to paint a picture of your health? And the best part, they're not locked in. They're yours to play with, to tweak, to make your own. I want you to walk away from this feeling like you've got a toolbox full of ideas you can start using today. Maybe tomorrow you'll chat with a neighbor, take a deeper breath, or savor a meal that feels good for your body. These aren't chores, they're gifts you give yourself. Little ways to say, "I'm here and I'm not done yet." You've got so much wisdom, so many stories, and I bet there's still plenty you want to do, whether it's planting a garden, teaching your grandkids a card trick, or just soaking up a sunrise. Every small step you take with these signs in mind is a step toward more of those moments. If you've enjoyed this chat, and I hope you have, give that like button a tap down below. It means the world to me to know you're with me on this journey. And if you've got a story of your own, like how you've kept your grip strong or found a new friend, drop it in the comments. I read every single one, and I'd love to hear from you. Oh, and don't forget to hit subscribe if you haven't already. There's so much more we can explore together to keep thriving. You're not just aging, you're living, and you've got the tools to make it vibrant, full, and yours. So go out there and grab those days with both hands. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, keep shining,